Hi, everybody. Charisse here again to talk Trump. Um, I've been amazed by some of the comments I get from people that I used to actually consider friends when I was in Hollister. And many were just acquaintances that we kind of bonded a little bit and we go way back together. And to be called a racist by people just because I want to vote for my president, it blows my mind. It boggles the mind. So obviously, the people that would say stupid things like that are just listening to the crap from the media, and they aren't doing any research themselves. So I'm coming to you today with 40 days left before we elect our president and asking you to open your mind and hear some truths. And I'm sure there's many of you out there that don't care and you're just going to cut me off, but I'm going to do my best anyway, hoping that someone I can reach, if only one person, it makes a difference. We all make a difference. You need to vote. I used to feel like, oh, my one vote doesn't count. Now when I hear people say that, the same thing that came out of my mouth, I get so upset. Like, yes, you do count and your vote counts and you need to vote. So for you out there wanting to say our president is a racist, we'll reiterate one of the things I pointed out in yesterday's video. And that's that the unemployment rate among Black, Hispanic, Asian, and minority Americans plummeted to the lowest rates in US history under President Trump. The poverty rates for African Americans and Hispanic Americans reached the lowest ever. Wow, President Trump. Once President Trump took office and made some changes to help minorities, he is not a racist. One of the biggest things that he implemented that I think both Bush and Obama had supposedly worked on but were never able to launch is the First Step Act. And our president implemented it in 2018, and it did more for minorities than any other president in history. And here's just a list of the things that that program did. For starters, the First Step Act enacted reforms to make our justice system fairer and to help former inmates successfully return to society. If an inmate can't find work when they get out of jail, they're going to be back in jail. The reforms addressed inequities in sentencing laws that disproportionately harmed Black Americans and reformed mandatory minimum sentences that often created injustice. Black Americans, okay? He helped the Black Americans with these reforms because they were the largest number of inmates. And our president's no dummy. He knows what he's doing. And this First Act thing is one of the best things he did. It expanded judicial discretion in sentencing for nonviolent crimes, which helped a lot of inmates. It provided rehabilitation programs to inmates, helping them to successfully join society and not return to crime. Give them a job, give them some pride, give them some dignity, and let's get them back out in society. And more than 90% of those benefiting from the retroactive sentencing reductions in the First Step Act are Black Americans. Okay? Trump is promoting second chance hiring to give former inmates the opportunity to live crime-free lives and find meaningful employment. This is huge. The disproportionate amount of Black Americans that are in jail was not being addressed by Obama, our first Black president. In 8 years in office, he did not address this. He did not do anything to help Black Americans. Trump has done things to help Black Americans. Now, just with the judicial system alone and inmates and the First Act, that was awesome. But he's also increased funding for the historical Black colleges and universities by more than 14%. He signed legislation forgiving Hurricane Katrina debt that threatened many of those historically Black colleges and universities. And I'll refer to them as HBCUs just to make it quicker. He made HBCUs a priority by creating a position of executive director of the White House in the initiative on HBCUs, someone in charge to look over the program and make sure that things are implemented the way they're supposed to be done. He received a Bipartisan Justice Award from a historically Black college for his criminal justice reform accomplishments, which helped many thousands of Black Americans. I don't remember the lovely grandma's name who he pardoned. I think she was in jail for something like, it was an outrageous sentence for a drug offense, nonviolent drug offense, and he gave her life back and gave her grandchildren back to grandma. I don't remember her name, but just one of the wonderful things that our president has done. He launched the new Ready to Work initiative to help connect employers directly with prisoners looking for work. That's got to be a help to those, because there's actually folks out there who want to give people a second chance. And our president loves this country. I think he's the most patriotic president we've had in like decades. He loves America. He loves Americans. He wants us to prosper. You need to think about this when you vote. Don't just decide, I'm not voting for Trump because I don't like him. I don't like his personality. You need to go look at his policies and his accomplishments. And as far as BLM is BS, they don't give a rat's patootie about Black Americans. They've destroyed many Black Americans' businesses with looting, and just the violence, killing cops, Black cops too. So please, this is the most important election, I believe, in American history. And if you've decided you don't like Trump because he tweets too much, and you're willing to risk this country's entire future by letting the Democrats, who do nothing but tear this country down, take office, God help us. God help us. Jesus is coming back soon. But I am confident that our president is going to win by a landslide. And I'm asking you out there to please shut off the noise from the media and make an educated decision on your own. And don't call me a racist. And don't call our president a racist. You're just spewing what the media is feeding you and what the Democrats are feeding you. And it's just wrong. So I love you. And even those of you who have sent me some pretty nasty messages because I'm a Trump fan. And I've had people write me off completely and send nasty messages to me. But you know what? I still love you because I think that you're just deceived. I think Satan's done a number on you and you're deceived. And y'all ought to know I am praying for each and every one of you. So you can keep the jabs coming and I'm just going to keep praying for you. Trump 2020, please get out and vote. It's the most important vote in American history. God bless you all and God bless America. Talk to you next time.